Good morning, boys and girls. It's Monday, March 30th, 2020, and our Bible story for this week is called Jesus is Coming Again. Daniel was becoming an old man now. He was nearly 84 years old and had worked for 3 kings in Babylon. Daniel had seen many things change in Babylon, but one thing didn't change. There were still many people who didn't love God. And because they didn't love God, many of those people made some poor choices. That made Daniel feel worried and afraid that in the future, more people would continue to make more and more bad choices. Just as he had done so many times before, Daniel prayed to God. Daniel asked God to help him understand what would happen to God's people in the future. And God answered Daniel's prayer. In a vision, God showed Daniel about a great war that was being fought between Satan and God. God showed Daniel what happened when people forget about God. Many people made some very bad choices. Some people said bad words and even hurt other people. There were times when it seemed like Satan's side was winning. But God hadn't forgotten about those who loved him. And boys and girls, God doesn't forget about us today, does he? Daniel saw the special work that Jesus is doing right now in heaven. Daniel saw that Jesus has a special place in his records just for you and me. Daniel saw that Jesus is going through all the records to see who has said yes to Jesus, so he can decide who will live with him forever. We've talked about that before, boys and girls. How do you get to heaven? It seems like such a wonderful place to be. And remember, we've talked about all Jesus wants us to do to be able to go to heaven is to just say yes to him. Say, Jesus, please come into my heart, and I want you to be my best friend. That's all you have to do. Daniel saw the time when Jesus would come back to this earth for all those who loved him. Daniel heard the angels blow the trumpets while those who died loving Jesus came back to life. It's as if those who had died had just gone to sleep. But when Jesus comes back to this earth, he will call out to them and wake them up. And all those who love Jesus will be ready to go home to heaven with him. I think about my grandma Doris, who it's like she's sleeping in the ground. She died a long time ago. I can't wait till Jesus comes back to take us to heaven, and she's raised from the grave, and I can be with my grandma again. I'm excited about that. Daniel also saw that all those who love Jesus will get to go and live with Jesus forever. That's the day those who love Jesus are waiting for. Jesus will come back to this earth in the clouds. There will be many, many angels, and rainbow light will flash across the sky. That big cloud with Jesus and the angels will come closer to the earth. They will gather all those who've said yes to Jesus. Perhaps the best part of all will be to see Jesus smiling at us when he comes and says, "Come to the place I have prepared for you." Did you know Jesus is preparing a place in heaven for you right now? He's getting ready for us. When we get to heaven, Jesus will show us the new homes he has prepared for us. Everyone will have a mansion in the New Jerusalem and in the country too. So it's like we'll have a house in the city and a house in the country. We will get to plant gardens and have all sorts of wonderful fruits and vegetables to eat. We will have animals to play with, and they won't hurt us. We will also get to see all of God's people who had died but are now alive. It will be such a wonderful time for families to gather together again. After 1,000 years of living in heaven, the Bible says that God will make a brand new earth. Everything will be brand new. There will be no more sickness or sadness. There will be no more dying or crying. No one will ever get hurt again, and everything will be perfect. I'm thinking about how COVID-19, that virus that is spreading all over the earth right now, boys and girls, I'm thinking how that will be gone forever. There'll be no sickness like that ever again when we get to heaven. Isn't that exciting? I'm excited about that. The New Jerusalem will come down from heaven to the earth. Our new earth will be just like heavenly gardens, with flowers and trees, animals that don't hurt us, families living together, and no one ever being sick or ever getting hurt again. But the very best part will be that Jesus will be there. I'm excited about that. We will get to live with him forever. We can walk with him through the fields. We can play with him at the beach, and we can sit with him on the rocks and listen to him tell us stories. I can't wait for that day when I can live with Jesus forever. And Jesus can't wait for that day either. Jesus tells us, I will come and get you so that you will always be with me. John 14:3. I want to live with Jesus forever in heaven. I want to say yes to being friends with Jesus forever. Boys and girls, if you want to be in heaven someday with Jesus, like I know I do, all you have to say is yes to him. Say, Jesus, please come into my heart. I want you to be my very best friend. And he will. He'll hear your prayer. And you will be in heaven with him someday. I wrote our memory verse on our sentence strip, so let me show you that here. And let's read it together. I will come and get you, so you will always be with me. John 14:1-3. I love the promises from the Bible. And I love you too, and I hope you have a great day. And be good to Mommy and Daddy. Be helpful around the house. And we will see each other again on Friday. I hope you have a wonderful week.